Aren't we all? Whether we admit it or not.
Everybody said?
If it helps, you can't.
Yeah, you'll be the first one to zoom in on the tile.
YouTube and Facebook. Makes it easier.
Is it automatic?
Yeah, we still have the accounts that we want. You can stream to YOLO, stream to that, and it'll get out.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you all for being here today. Keeping our city safe is the most important job that I have as mayor. And the women and men of the Atlanta Police Department are tirelessly working each and every day and each and every night on behalf of all of our citizens, and their leadership goes unrecognized at times. Over the last 10 months, serving as the 61st mayor of Atlanta, I have started nearly every single day speaking on a phone or in person, meeting with the chief of police of the Atlanta Police Department, along with Lisa Gordon, our COO. Every morning, I get a report of the previous days or the previous evening's activities, and we talk about what we're going to do this day to make everyone safer and better service to this community. Over the last 5 months, I've had the privilege to hold those conversations with Interim Police Chief Darin Schierbaum, who has led this department ably as we sought out a permanent head of the department. I have built a close and trusting working relationship with Interim Chief Schierbaum, who always delivers it straight and uses data and best practices to steer this department. Over the course of the last 5 months, my team and I have conducted a national search for a permanent police chief. This is an important position, so we had to get it right. We searched far and wide, and we spoke to some of the highest caliber candidates in the nation. I am happy and honored to report that at the end of the day, we found the right candidate was already in that post. Today, I am happy to announce that I am appointing Darin Schierbaum to serve as the 26th Chief of the Atlanta Police Department. Chief Schierbaum shares my administration's goal and vision of one safe city. He is the right leader at the right time to address public safety issues facing our city. He is the right leader for helping us to build one safe city with one bright future. Over the course of this search, I had several criteria that I needed to satisfy. I wanted a chief who is a believer in 21st century policing. Not only is Chief Schierbaum a believer, he is an active proponent and was in charge of implementing the recommendations from President Obama's task force on 21st century policing here in Atlanta. I wanted a chief who is data-driven. Every morning, Chief Schierbaum reports the latest numbers that guides his decision-making. I wanted a chief who could deepen the ties between the women and men of the Atlanta police and the community they serve. As a proud resident of Midtown, Chief Schierbaum is a constant presence in our community and has ably demonstrated his commitment to building those ties. And through the public surveys and polling that we did and conversations I've had, Chief Schierbaum matches the profile of what our residents are looking for in a chief. And I wanted a chief who has the support of the rank and file officers of the Atlanta Police Department. Chief Schierbaum has that support because they know he is one of them. Chief Schierbaum has served Atlanta for 20 years, raising through the ranks from the valedictorian of his academy class to a beat officer, and now all the way to chief of police. 5 months ago, I did not know who I would be selecting. We undertook a robust search that brought us a strong set of diverse candidates. Finalists included both men and women, black, white, and Hispanic. While I always thought the next chief would have APD in their blood, I didn't know if that meant hiring someone who was currently serving in the department or who had served in the department before and now wanted to return. But in the 5 months working daily with Chief Schierbaum, he has shown he is someone who can make the tough calls objectively, he is focused and resourceful, and he is worthy of our trust. When Chief Schierbaum took over in an interim capacity in June, he executed our summer safety plan and brought enormous success to our city. Under Chief Schierbaum's watch this summer, we saw homicides decrease by 29%, persons shot decrease by 26%, and robberies decrease by 14% when compared to summer of 2021. I've also spoken to a lot of other law enforcement leaders in our region, in our state, and even nationally, who have told me that they respect this chief that gets the results done. And I want to take this opportunity to thank our Chief Operating Officer, Lisa Gordon, who led this national recruitment for our police chief. She did an excellent job in working with our contractors to help us get through this process. At the same time, we hired several other commissioners, deputy COOs, and by the way, she continued to run the city's departments with our commissioners. So I thank you, Lisa Gordon, for your leadership. I also want to thank my Chief of Staff, Odie Donald II, and my Senior Advisor, Courtney English, who provided counsel to me as we made this decision. I want to thank all the men and women of the Atlanta Police Department, including the executive leadership team who are here today for their steadfast commitment to our city. And finally, I want to thank Chief Schierbaum for once again answering the call of our city and having the willingness to serve in this capacity. And now, I present to you APD Chief Darin Schierbaum to say a few words.
Good morning. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for providing me with this opportunity to serve as our city's next Chief of Police and the opportunity to continue to serve the incredible men and women of the Atlanta Police Department. For the last 4 months, the Mayor and I have worked closely together, speaking almost daily, as APD has fought crime smartly in our neighborhoods, protected major events, navigated challenges, and celebrated our successes in supporting the men and women of the Atlanta Police Department. Mayor, I appreciate your level of engagement and the insight and collaboration you have always brought to those conversations. I'm encouraged by your vision and leadership and the direction our city is moving, and humbled that you have entrusted me in this role. And I think it's fitting that the announcement is made in this roll call room, because it was almost 20 years ago that I first reported for duty out of the Atlanta Police Academy to this room and started patrolling our city on morning watch. And it was in this room that I first saw the character of the Atlanta Police Department in action, protecting the city. And it was in this room that I first began to bond to the city, this diverse and vibrant city that I now call my home. And I can think of no higher honor than to serve as Chief of Police to the most talented and dedicated group of men and women who have said yes to public service. I see daily the acts of compassion and courage that defines the character of the Atlanta Police Department. I see 911 dispatchers and call takers, crime scene technicians and crime prevention inspectors, and scores of our civilian staff making a difference every day. I see police officers of every rank and every assignment of this department working to remove dangerous felons from the street, arresting street racers, individuals breaking into cars and burglaries, but I also see police officers opening youth centers and patrolling our parks on horses and on bicycles along the pathway. And above all, I see our officers and our civilian staff using every interaction with the citizens of this city to build the public trust. Women and men of the Atlanta Police Department, civilian and sworn, I have one message for you. I believe in you, and I believe in what you do. I see the hard and difficult work that you do every day, 24 hours a day, in all 245 neighborhoods of our city, and I am so proud of the work that you all do. Know that as long as you are a department that is constitutional, committed, competent, and compassionate, you will always have my support as Chief of Police. This leadership team behind me and all the men and women of the Atlanta Police Department, we're on a journey. We're on a journey of service together, and I will be a Chief of Police that is fully engaged in that journey alongside you, working to ensure that we remain a department that is a department of innovation and progress, fully committed to respecting those that we are protecting. And Madam COO, I do want to thank you for the last number of weeks working so closely to ensure that the men and women of the police department have the tools they need on behalf of the mayor and working to ensure that we're fighting crime as a team in our great city. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge three individuals that have an important role in me standing here today. And that is Chief George Turner, Chief Erica Shields, and Chief Rodney Bryant, who through the entirety of my career have invested in me in training, in mentoring, and in guidance so that I could stand here today in this role. And I want those three to know, if they're listening today, that I do not take this role lightly and that I will build on the strong foundation that they have put in place for this department. Mayor, thank you again for placing the trust in me. I'm truly honored and humbled and fully understand what's expected of myself and the Atlanta Police Department. I look forward to continuing to work with you on a daily basis as we build one safe city and elevate the city, the safety and livability of all the neighborhoods of the best city in the world, Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you again, Mayor.
Thank you. Well, this is an outstanding morning, and I'm just grateful. I see several council members have joined us. I didn't give them much of a heads up. I know they all are going to really celebrate this new start of Police Chief Darin Schierbaum, but we have some of them here today. Y'all can come on into shot, come on into focus as we take a few questions from the press.
Mayor Dickens, first off, just how important was it that the city conducted a national search, but to kind of keep it in-house, to just, I guess, stay status quo, how important was that when it comes to your vision?
Yeah, I mean, this is a super critical role for the city of Atlanta. Who leads the police department of the economic center, the biggest city in the Southeast, is important. So you got to look nationally. We didn't leave any stone unturned. We put the call out very far and wide to find candidates that would want to come to Atlanta. Some were already in the city of Atlanta. So we did not want to leave it to chance that there was somebody out there that would have been a great leader of this department. And so Chief Schierbaum competed against dozens and dozens of people nationally. I wanted to do this objectively. Which is why we had a national search, had a national search team. We worked and looked. But I also said at the date when we were in Zone 4 at Chief Bryant's retirement announcement, I said I felt, and just in my heart, being born and raised here in Atlanta and through my life on city council and now as mayor, I knew that there was a significant amount of talent that comes from APD, and so I said then that I thought they'd have APD in their blood, but that didn't discount the fact that we looked nationwide, and we came back home.
I don't know if Chief Schierbaum, you have a second. First, congratulations. Just two questions. One, again, you mentioned you were here 20 years ago doing a roll call. Just kind of, again, if you can just put into words what this moment means for you. And then I said one follow-up after that.
It's still surreal. I did not think that when I started my service with the Atlanta Police Department, this is where the journey would take me. So there's a lot of people that have contributed to that, and I want to make sure I acknowledge that. I want it to be known that when I stand in wherever I go, I represent 1,500 of the best sworn men and women who's wearing the uniform and over 300 of the best civilians that are serving our city of Atlanta. So when I'm here today, it's about them. It's about them staying with the Atlanta Police Department. It's about them, the work they do every day. You all are reporters, and I hope you see the character of the Atlanta Police Department in your reporting. And so wherever I go, I want to make sure that I'm speaking up for them and acknowledging the great works of the Atlanta Police Department and encouraging others to come and join us as we are on this journey together. We'll be welcoming some premier events here in a few years, and we're excited about where the Atlanta Police Department's going.
One follow-up. I would imagine, I mean, you've thought about this moment for a while. I know it's kind of putting you on the spot, but is there anything when it comes to fighting crime that now that that interim title's been removed that you'd like to start implementing within the next couple weeks, maybe immediately, anything that you feel that would help?
You know, the team that's behind me, we have a plan in place that we're executing already. There was no interim of fighting crime, and there was no interim of engaging our community. So there was no training wheels that are coming off. We are going to keep fighting crime. If you're committing crime in the city, you're going to jail. If you're street racing in the city, you're going to jail. And so just know that you can expect to see this talent behind me and the men and women of the Atlanta Police Department engaging you wherever you may come to do harm.
Mayor, you had a wide open pool of candidates. What was finally sealed the deal? You said you knew you had your police chief.
Yeah.
Was there one moment here in the city? I mean, I remember when you first took office, there was a little baby who got shot. You were out there. Chief was out there. And there was been a host of big stories that you've had to deal with early in administration. Was there one thing that you said, I have the person I want?
Yeah, there's a number of things. So some of it is data-driven. Some of it is community, community-based policing, community interaction. Some of it is my gut and my personal interaction. And Darin Schierbaum excelled and met all of those criteria. I'll tell you, being data-driven, we put out a survey. Over 2,000 people in the city of Atlanta filled out that survey, and oddly enough, it was 50% men and women. It was a diverse array from racial background as well as age. So it was a really robust survey response. And I have some of the statistics that I give you. About 67%, they said they wanted a chief who has a track record of building community trust. That's Darin Schierbaum and his track record. 73% ranked crime reduction among the top priorities for a new chief. And that's in his track record, as I gave you the summer heat wave statistics. 71% ranked honesty, integrity, and character as a top leadership attribute. Chief Schierbaum embodies those characteristics. And then even further, in the open-ended question, where they could write anything in there, the second highest response in the open-ended response was hire Chief Schierbaum, make him the permanent chief. And so from a community standpoint, he checked all those boxes. From every single morning, our dependability that he was on the phone first or in person first, and that we were going to talk about the events with some clarity and what we're going to do going forward. That gave me a substantial amount of confidence in him. And he also impressed Lisa Gordon, impressed these council members behind me. And so in that end, all stars aligned. And here we have our chief that we can depend on.
Got time for one more.
How many applicants were there and how many were in the finalist position?
Lisa, you remember the exact number?
There were over 20 that were brought in as a pool for us to review, and then we narrowed it down to about 6 or 7, and then we narrowed it further down.
Yeah.
So.
But I think it was like 70 something in the general,
And,
like in the
total
applications. But we ruled them down to,
that's correct.
Brought them down before we did interviews. Any other questions?
There were 6 interviewed?
As far as, so there's levels of interviews. There's a national team, and then, there was 4 that I personally interviewed. Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Did we just get one picture?
Yeah, we can get one picture. Whose phone is that? Somebody's phone.
There's a few phones down.
Man,
One is
I don't want to be the COO of a city. You got a lot of phone calls. Are we gonna? Should we move the podium? Or?
We're coming, Councilman. Appreciate this.
All right, everybody ready?
Come on, yeah.
Chief of Police.
All right, 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you.
Got it.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, you had yours too.
Yes.
All right,
Thank you all so much.
congratulations.
Appreciate you being here today. All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We got something for that area.
They're doing something.
Yeah, we met with Jimmy Cushman. Yeah, we're gonna take care of it. Yeah. They're trying to get them, some place to stay first, but they're gonna get them.
Please.
Yeah, we're gonna get them.
Thank you for coming.